Dear students, welcome back to Unit 5. Next philosopher is GijuBhai Badheka. Philosophy of Education of GijuBhai Badheka. GijuBhai Badheka, a great thinker from Gujarat. He was a great pioneer in the field of preschool education in India and advocated child-centered education. Basically, he was a teacher and then became the headmaster of high school. He was not happy with the type of education given to children. He resigned from the high school and started Bal Mandir, a school for children of 3 plus, on an experimental basis. In this experimentation, he could realize his dream of a school for children where there would be no fear of the cane, a place to which they would go willingly and not be dragged or bribed by parents. Gijubhai was influenced by the theoretical base of Madame Montessori and evolved his own method, rejecting the traditional way of educating children. His novel ideas about education are reflected in his writing. Divasapna, an imaginary story of a teacher who rejects the orthodox culture of education. His educational theory, like that of Gandhiji and Tagore, emphasized the child's need for an atmosphere of independence and self-reliance. GijuBhai Badheka, born as Krija Shankar, grew up in Bhavanagar in Gujarat. He was an educationist who helped to introduce Montessori education method to India. Among many thinkers and theorists in the field of education, a very simple yet convincing and impressive contributor is GijuBhai Badheka. He was lawyer by profession. Birth of his son made him wonder about the education of child and his developmental needs. He found his answer in the works of Maria Montessori, another noted educationist, teacher, and thinker from Italy. He became a primary teacher and co-founded his experimentation and tries with the system to bring about real learning for the children. A system which is highly bureaucratic, where for every little detail the hands are bound by rules and teacher finds no system to try out new ideas or bring change to make children learn in an efficient manner. The problems he raised are unfortunately still the problems that most of the primary teachers are facing in India. These are the places where learner belongs to a different social and economic background than that of his teacher. This difference in the background of learner and teacher is one of the factors responsible for poor level of teaching. Hence, the divide between educated and non-educated is too overt and implies connotations to the status of both. Badheka's arguments and experience try to answer such deep questions. He raises such profound questions about the education system. which form the backdrop of most of his writing. However, his tries and struggles, which are beautiful, simple, and honest, have equally plausible answer for educationists and teachers. GijuBhai Badheka worked towards giving teaching and learning a whole new definition. He set up the nursery section in a school called Dakshinamurti. He also founded Bal Mandir, which assimilated the best of educational philosophies from around the world. He undertook several measures to formulate a system of child education suitable to Indian environment. Some of his measures include first is setting up Adhyapak Mandir, the first primary teacher training college to meet the need for qualified teachers. Second one, the use of media, Shikshan Patrika or GijuBhai Monthly to criticize the existing method of education. The inclusion of Dalits and downgrading into mainstream education. Writing for literature for children of different age group. GijuBhai's selfless service and lifelong affection for children earned him the nickname of Muchali Ma, meaning mother with whiskers. The power of his thought lies in the simple description of the situation and the action he takes to address the problem faced in that situation. He stands as an example of reflective teacher with a very spontaneous common sense to react and act in the situations of primary classes in Indian context. His style of writing is as if he is talking to someone and one feel one feels that as these are their own words and thoughts, only that someone has dared to put in this form and bring to the solution too. Another very important point that one find to call his thought is practical is that the jargon of theoretical and philosophical standpoints or terms has been missing in his reflective and analytical accounts that we come across in his works. This makes him easy to relate to everybody challenges of primary teacher. GijuBhai cites several useful learning activities like storytelling, drama, games, and paper holding to name a few that could serve many objectives of teaching learning at primary level and make it relevant for children. However, teachers' intuition to link all these methods to curriculum is the real challenge that and must. Real learning is also learning where children learn by doing and hence are independent with their learning and do not depend on textbook or teacher as source of information alone. In words of GijuBhai in Diva Sapna, the game are real education. Great powers are born on the playground. A game means character building. He believes that for any topic, teachers should figure out the underlying concept and then help children identify that through activities. He put a firm faith in alternatives he wishes to try with children and make change possible. Teachers have stopped to argue for changes and alternatives on arguments. They say that these are not possible or too idealistic. GijuBhai makes it possible by saying that experimentation is the key to bring the change. A teacher with an untrying spirit to learn, to question the existing system, method, and even failure of individual teacher or student, can try several things that will make real learning take place and which is not only for exams and some outward reward alone. His writing of Divasapna is especially the weaving of such new ideas, failures, disgrace, and solution. It makes the reader feel very normal and humane. That job of primary teacher might be all this, but bit of real success is also possible. A very novel experiment by him was to divide the day into activities, games, and stories and not go by a strict authority of timetable. He happens to use his own instinct to organize his days with the children. Several other features of good and useful teaching practice one can see and finds in his work. Thus, Jijubhai has opened world of possibilities to make primary education beneficial for student and teacher. The idea is to live real and meaningful life and also make it some through the educational experience for the children. Now, aims of education according to GijuBhai. A child is a complete person who has intellect, emotions, mind, and understanding, strengths and weakness, like and dislikes. It is very important to understand the emotions of the child and create an atmosphere where children learn from each other through play, stories, and song without the fear of formal examination and gradation. He preferred the word mandir to school like Bal Mandir, Kishore Mandir, Vinay Mandir instead of primary, middle and high school, just to indicate that it is place where the child would not be beaten, insulted or jeered at. Now, aims of education according to GijuBhai Badheka. GijuBhai was emphatic in saying that instead of imposing adults' ideas on children, they must be given an opportunity to learn something by doing, playing according to their age and interest. He rejected the artificial, harsh, unsympathetic methods of education which replaced all natural inclinations. Education, according to him, should be a process of development into a rational, harmoniously balanced, useful, natural life. Like Montessori, Gijubai believed that education of a child is from within. Education must help in the complete unfolding of the child's individuality. In other words, he advocated education for the all-round development of the child. Further, he recognized the significance of self-training, motor efficiency, and self-learning in education of children and emphasized that education must provide for these things. On the whole, he upheld reverence for small children and professed education for learning through living in an atmosphere for complete freedom. Thank you so much.